Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with a quick channel update. I really didn't want to make this video. I really didn't, but I feel compelled to. Like, I feel like I need to. Like, I have to make this video. Because I need to talk about some things that have been brought to my attention. I need to talk about some things I've been seeing in the comments and things that, quite frankly, are a little upsetting. I have said from day one on this channel, if you guys have an idea for the channel, or if you see something that you think could be improved upon, I have always been welcome to, and I've always been open to constructive criticism. I've always been willing to listen. I've always been willing and open to new ideas and fresh ideas. What I am not open to, and what I am not in favor of, and what I, to be perfectly honest with you, what I pretty much ignore are complaints. When people just complain, about something, I don't like how you're doing this, and I don't like how you're doing that. Okay, I understand you may not like it, but if you don't like something, offer a solution, okay? That is constructive criticism. Hey, I'm not really a big fan of how you do this. Have you thought about trying to do this instead? Have you thought about taking this direction or this approach? I am all in favor of that. Absolutely. And I have on the channel. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about the polls, because this is where this whole video is coming from. I've had a lot of complaints about the polls lately, and they're coming from the YouTube users, the YouTube members of the channel. When I came up with the idea, and I didn't even come up with the let me back up. I never even thought about doing prioritization polls. I never even thought about that. That was not my idea. That idea came from a Patreon member, okay, who said, why don't you guys, have you ever thought about maybe doing a prioritization poll to, take a song out of some random place in the queue and give it a chance to win the opportunity to get prioritized? And I thought about that, and I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. So I made that a Patreon exclusive. I would pick 5 songs, put them on the Patreon poll, and give everybody a chance to vote. The first couple months, that's how it worked. There was no polls on YouTube. It wasn't until another Patreon member hit me up and said, hey, I love what you're doing with the Patreon polls. I think you could do more. And I said, okay, I'm game. What have you got for me? What do you think we could do to make it more? He said, well, why don't we make 2 polls? One for Patreon members, for everybody, and another one for the premier tiers, your bronze tier, your silver tiers, your gold tiers. And I was like, okay, I could see that. Sure, why not? That sounds like a good idea. Give not 1, but 2 requests a chance to get prioritized every week. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. And I did. Another month went by, and we did it. 3 months later, now this is 3 months after we started this, another Patreon member came to me and said, hey, I got an idea to get the YouTube community more involved. I said, okay, I'm listening. Yeah, I'll always listen to ideas. I always do. I may not always take the advice. I may not always listen. I may not always take the advice and integrate it into the channel because I want to do what's best, in my opinion, for the channel. But I'm always open to listening to ideas. So this guy comes and says, listen, why don't you take those 10 songs and put them on the YouTube channel so everybody on YouTube can feel more involved. Everybody on the YouTube channel can feel like they have a voice. Everybody on the YouTube channel can feel like they have a say. You take those 10 songs, put 5 in one poll, 5 in another. You take the 3 winners from each poll. So there's 6 total songs, 3 from one poll, 3 from another. You take those 6 songs and you put those on the Patreon page for people to finalize the vote on. That way, everybody on YouTube has a say in the process. Everybody on YouTube has a voice and feels included in the process. But at the same time, the Patreon members who are actually paying for this, they get the final say. They get the final vote based on what won out of the 5. And I thought to myself, what a great idea. That will give everybody a chance to be heard. That'll give everybody a chance to have a voice. Perfect. I love it. Is it more work for me? Yeah, it's more work, but you know what? I'm okay with more work. That's fine. I don't mind as long as everybody on the channel is happy, everybody on the channel feels important, and everybody in the channel feels included. So I was like, what a great idea. Let's do that. And we've been doing it this way ever since. Lately, I've been accused of doing some pretty underhanded things that I've taken personal offense to. Things like bait and switch. I never baited and switched anything. I took the 3 winners from the poll that was taken on YouTube. Out of the 5, I took the top 3, and I put them into another poll on the Patreon page for those people who are paying they're paying to help support the channel, and gave them the final say. It's a benefit for supporting the channel in a financial way. Okay, they're paying for it. They're gonna get some extra benefits. That's just how it works. And if you don't like that, I hate to tell you this, but you look around at every single reaction channel on YouTube, and you're gonna find that not only are they structured in a similar way, I'm probably the most fair out of all of them. I only charge $1 to be involved in the process. A single $1. You'll see you'll see reaction channels where the starting tier, the lowest tier, is $10. What? No. I'm not going to do that. It's just $1 to be on the basic tier. And so you can vote, and yes, you can vote. Now, here's another thing that I love that people complain about. Their bands never win. Did you vote? Did you vote? Like, I'll give you an example. Metallica lost a poll. They didn't even make it into the top 3. They lost a poll, right? And all the Metallica fans are screaming bloody murder, like, you know, how did that lose and blah, blah, blah. Well, I looked at the number of total votes, 600 votes. Not even that. I think it was actually like 590 or 580 or something like that. It didn't even make it to 600. And I'm thinking to myself, 39,000 people on the channel supporting the channel, only 600 votes. Numbers don't quite add up. Guys, if you don't vote, you don't get a say. I mean, it's really that simple. And if people don't vote, then it really diminishes the chances of their favorite bands winning. You know, it's really that simple. So everybody talks about, you know, there's all these Metallica fans, millions of Metallica fans. I don't expect all those millions to be here on the channel, but I would expect, you know, out of 39,000 members on the channel, 39,000 members in the fan base, you would think there was probably at least 1,000 people who like Metallica, at least. And yet we didn't even make 600 votes. I don't know what to say at that point. If all 1,000 of the Metallica fans had voted, it would have won without question. You know, it would have gone onto the Patreon page. Now, what happens there, I can't say. I don't know. But at least it would have gone and made the top 3, so it could have been considered for the Patreon page vote. So I don't get it. As far as the whole bait and switch thing, guys, that is not bait and switch. I hate to tell you that is not bait and switch at all. It is taking the top 3 winners and moving them on to the next round. That's all it is. As far as bait and switch, I'm gonna be honest with you folks, I found that offensive. I really did. I felt like that was an attack on my integrity. And you know, what's the point of having a poll if we're not gonna be considered? You are being considered. The top 3 winners from the YouTube polls go on to the Patreon polls. From the YouTube polls to the Patreon polls. YouTube polls, Patreon polls. It's that simple. It really is that easy. So, what's the point? You're right. You know what? When I saw those comments, I'm going to be honest with you folks. I'm not naming names. I'm not pointing fingers. But when I saw people making those comments of why bother having the polls, man, I came this close. I actually typed it out. The only thing I didn't push was the send button. I typed it out. I said, you know what? You convinced me. Let's stop the polls. It's less work I have to worry about. I actually typed that out, and I was about to delete the polls. Every single poll, I was about to delete them. Luckily, I paused, I took a breath, did my best to calm down, and I decided to keep them up, okay? But I'm not kidding, man. I almost got rid of them. Almost did. So I really don't appreciate those kind of comments, guys. I really don't. I do everything I can to make everybody on this channel feel included. I do everything I can on this channel to make everybody feel like they have a voice and they have a say. And you all do. From the process, step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Everybody is involved in step 1. Everybody on the channel has a say. Not everybody votes. Whose fault is that? Is that my fault? No, it's not my fault. It's the people who choose not to have a say. It's the people who choose not to vote. That is their choice. I'm not saying they have to vote. If they want to vote, they are more than welcome to. But when they don't vote and their favorite band loses and they're going to sit there and complain about it, that makes absolutely no sense to me at all, okay? If you guys want to vote, vote. If you don't want to vote, don't. It's that simple. It's that easy, okay? But hopefully this will put to bed all those complaints. And I'm gonna sum it up like this. And I'm gonna say this, and I know people are gonna get pissed. I know people are gonna be upset. And I know people are probably going to leave the channel. Okay, that's fine when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it needs to be said. Everything I do on this channel, I do for you guys. I absolutely do it for you. This channel from day one has been request-based. Every single song on this channel has come from a request made by viewers and by Patreon members, okay? I look forward to the day when I get back to free requests. I really do. And I really hope that day comes one day because I would love to be able to have everybody be able to request songs for free again. But this channel was founded on the basis of having everybody have a say. Everybody feels like a part of this channel because everybody does have a say. Everybody does have a voice. I read every single comment and I heart it. If I heart it, that means I read it. It takes a lot of time, guys. That takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day I spend on comments, minimum, okay? Then there's filming and editing and uploading and marketing. There's a lot more work done right there. And I do this all practically for free, okay? Yes, there is the Patreon page, but let's be honest here. Almost half of the money from the Patreon page goes to taxes. Almost half, okay? It's an entertainment tax to boot. So almost half of the money goes to taxes. The rest of the money goes back into the channel. Half of what's remaining goes into the channel for new equipment, upgrade equipment, paying for membership fees, paying for upgrades and stuff like that. The other half, I donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Every single month, I make a donation, okay? So I really don't keep any money for myself at all. I don't. I'm not worried about the money. I don't want the money. I don't need the money, okay? Trust me, I'm doing fine, okay? Now, I do all of this so you guys can enjoy free entertainment on this channel. I do everything for you guys, okay? And I'm gonna sum it up like this. If you don't like what I do, if you don't like the channel, I want you to be happy. I don't want you on the channel and being a part of the channel if you're not happy. If you don't like the channel, if you're not happy here, then I have an idea, I have a solution. There's the door. I'm dead serious. I am not playing around, okay? If you don't like what I do, if you don't like how the channel runs, if you don't like how the channel operates, you are more than welcome to leave. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. Will I miss you? Yeah. Will I get over it? Yeah, I will. Because the channel will continue to grow, the channel will continue to prosper without the negative comments, okay? That is more off-putting than anything else. The complaints, the negativity, it has got to stop. If you have an idea, I'm open to listening to ideas. I am open to constructive criticism as long as a solution is offered. If all you're gonna do is bitch, whine, and complain about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, like I said, there's the door. Have a nice day. I hate to be crass. I hate to be so, abrupt and curt about it, but I'm telling you folks, I'm over it at this point. I'm not gonna let that get me down. I'm not gonna let that, destroy the channel. I'm gonna put an end to it right now. This video is it, Okay? That's it. That's all there is to it. You don't like it? Leave. Please leave. Okay? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope I didn't offend too many people. I'm sure I offended a few. And if I offended you, you know, I hate to say this, maybe you needed to be offended. You know, it's possible. But if you took it personally, I never mentioned any names. I never pointed any fingers. So why are you taking it personally? There must be a reason. Okay? So hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. Hopefully everybody understands where my direction of this channel is going. And hopefully this video answered any questions about how the polls work. Okay? So there it is, wrapped up in a nice tight bow, nice pretty bow. So that's it, guys. This is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Listen to that part again. Support each other. Later. Peace.